Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. DJ here again. Is life undervalued? Is our lives undervalued? Do we not appreciate the life we've been given? Do we not appreciate the fact that other people have lives to live? And are we not valuing them? What I want to talk about today is the UK's pro-life movement. It's calling on the Catholic bishops to speak out more publicly and effectively against a culture that sees women being pressurised by medical staff to have abortions. The move comes after two mothers ended their pregnancies. Following Nottingham University's hospitals, the NHS Trust, known as NUH, one of the UK's largest hospitals and teaching organisations, mistakenly informing them that their unborn babies had serious genetic conditions. The Church must accept its own part in this terrible situation in which clergy and lay faithful have failed to speak up through fear, discomfort or ignorance. Isabel Vaughan Spruce, a pro-life advocate and co-director of March for Life UK, told OSV News. The BBC reports that Carly Wesson terminated her pregnancy at 14 weeks after being told that her child had Patau's syndrome. I'll spell that for you. It's P-A-T-A-U, Patau's, so it's apostrophe S, syndrome. Patau's syndrome. The genetic disorder often results in miscarriage, stillbirth, or the baby dying shortly after delivery. 90% of children born with Patau's syndrome die within the first year. Ms. Wesson told the BBC it was the most impossible choice we've ever had to make. We thought the best option was to end the pregnancy because the baby was suffering. Carly Wesson, her partner, told, this is getting to me, sorry, 6 weeks after the abortion, Ms. Wesson was called to a meeting at City Hospital, one of the Trust's two hospitals, where they were told that the results had been a false positive. The doctor leading the meeting reportedly said, well, you could have miscarried anyway. So she'd been told that the baby was suffering in the womb, wouldn't live, would be born stillborn or die at birth, or had a maximum 12 months to live because it was so ill with his Patau's disease. And then after she aborted, 6 weeks later, she's told, no, we got it wrong. He wasn't suffering at all. He hadn't got the disease. But that's not just a single case, because in the same hospital, this teaching hospital, so they're teaching doctors and nurses this way. So another mother was pressurised into having an abortion at, again, the Nottingham University Hospital after being told their baby had a life-limiting genetic condition. She was informed by the Trust that she must decide within a day, as the pregnancy was approaching the 24-week mark, after which most abortions are prohibited by UK law. The mother describes receiving a frantic call in the late afternoon, one telling me we had to decide by the following day to terminate. Now, get this, because this is it's. However, a post-mortem examination after she'd had the abortion told them their child didn't have the condition. It didn't have the condition they was told it had got. It would have lived. It would have lived a normal life. But another family was offered a termination after being told their child, same hospital, had a serious condition preventing them from emptying their bladder. So the child in the womb cannot empty its bladder, that they're told by the doctors, which would be agony, which meant they would either be stillborn or live a very short life. After arriving at the hospital to take the medication to commit to the abortion, the father insisted on another scan, during which the child emptied their bladder on screen and thus avoided its termination. Let that sink in. You're told the child to be born in your womb cannot empty its bladder. Now, I know that, when I've been on a trip and, I'm driving along and I want to go to the toilet to empty my bladder, and you're waiting to get to a services, and it can be agony keeping it in. And so they were about to have the abortion, and the father insisted on another scan before they did so, and it was found the information they were given was untrue. Now, that's just 3 cases from the same hospital. Now, going back to Miss Vaughan Spruce, Isabella Vaughan Spruce, the campaigner, who gained public attention after being arrested for silent prayer. You may remember that. I've wrote about it a few times in different blogs. But she was arrested for standing silently within 150 metres of an abortion clinic. She didn't speak to anyone, and the police came up and they arrested her. She had weeks and weeks of suffering, stress about the arrest. She was told no charges. She went out again, was arrested again. This time, after she appealed to the courts and won £13,000 off the police for harassment. And then she's been arrested again. Well, she wasn't arrested, but she was questioned again. This time, the other 2 times, she was told it was because she was praying inside her head. The 3rd time, she was told her mere presence within the district was stressful, alarming, and harassment. Her mere presence. She has had an apology from the police, but that's her 3rd attack by the police. They're the ones doing the harassment. But let's go on. So Isabel Vaughan Spruce, who gained, yes, I've told you that. She said, she's speaking to the Catholic Herald and the newspaper, and she said, "This scandal is devastating in so many levels, and we need to give some honest thought as to how it has arisen. It's a consequence which is consistent," and I get this because I think this is a very valuable and astute quote. "It is a consequence which is consistent with a relative value system which we have fostered in our country for decades, that life is only valuable if and when we value it." Yes, so many lives are being lost because people are not valuing life anymore. The NUH, Nottingham University Hospital Training Hospital, is one of England's largest teaching trusts, collaborating with the University of Nottingham to train healthcare students. However, it has a history of poor antenatal and neonatal care, with the NHS, National Health Service, paying out more than £100 million over failings at the Trust's maternity centres between 2006 and 2023. How often have we heard that, the NHS hasn't got enough money? But this one hospital, just one hospital, has paid out £100 million over failings at the Trust's maternity centres from 2006 to 2023. 17 years, 100 million paid out. How many of these lawsuits have not been taken up because they didn't know, they weren't told that the information that was given to do these abortions was false? We'll never know, I suppose. The revelation of these misdiagnoses coincides with a review of the care received by more than 2,000 families in the maternity units trust to hospitals, Queen Elizabeth Centre, Queen's Medical Centre and the City Hospital. The review is led by senior midwife Donna Ockenden and known as the Ockenden Report or Review. It is the largest maternity inquiry in the NHS history. It is unclear how many of the cases may have involved incorrect medical information leading to abortions, or how many instances involve medical staff putting pressure on patients to undergo an abortion. Simultaneously, Nottingham Police, now get this, Nottinghamshire Police have been conducting a criminal investigation into the trust since September 2023. They have recently started to receive information from the Ockenden Review team with more than 100 baby deaths and injuries under police review. How many mothers have been, or prospective mothers, have been deprived of motherhood because of false reporting by doctors and medical staff in this one hospital? One of the main concerns of the UK pro-life movement regarding what has happened in Nottingham is that the mistakes aren't limited to that location. John Edwards, pro-life coordinator for the Diocese of Nottingham, told OSV News, "The idea that such woefully inadequate care of newborn children is occurring only here in Nottingham is nonsense. It has been picked up here, but is clearly replicated across the country." He also called on the Church to do more, stating, "Leadership matters, and if priests and bishops said this is wrong, it would make a difference." Of course it would, Mr. Edwards. I agree with you entirely. While Mr. Edwards says he believes that Bishop Patrick McKinney, the Bishop of the Diocese of Nottingham, has shown support for pro-life causes, the pro-life coordinator reveals that other church leaders have remained quiet on abortion to avoid confrontation or offence. In 2022, according to the most recent completed data, 251,377 abortions were carried out in England and Wales, the highest number since the Abortion Act was introduced. Regarding her criticism of the culture in which life is only valuable if and when we value it, Ms. Vaughan Spruce noted down, this also relates to the ongoing debate about and around assisted suicide. Yes, I'm worried about this as well. The elderly are being pressured into saying, "Oh yes, let me die because I'm a burden, a financial burden on my family, or I cannot afford to heat my home anymore, and the cold is too much. Just let me die." Now this stems from the government. It stems from the family. Families are not valuing their elderly people, and they're not seeming to value the birth of a new child. Britain's population is changing completely. The ethnic people are not reproducing, and they're killing off their elderly, and the population's ethnic makeup is changing. We don't seem to understand that. In life, we do not understand it. Life is not being valued. Let's continue. We are currently discussing this. She's talking about the assisted dying bill, how life is valued in regards to the elderly and the terminally ill. But for over 55 years, we've enshrined in law that the worth of a preborn child is contingent on a mother's feelings. Got to me again, sorry. The activist said that this is Isabel Vaughan Spruce, Our whole society, including our medical and legal systems, must be based on the premises that all lives are equal and of equal value, and there is no such thing as a person not worthy of life and love. I'm not going to say anymore. It's the fact that these children are being aborted and there's nothing wrong, but the mothers are being told there is. The fact that the medical profession, who used to take an oath to preserve life, now are involved in taking life of the unborn, taking life of the elderly, and it's where are we going in society? What are we doing to think that we can take lives, that our medical staff, and they say it's the healthcare. It is not healthcare to abort a child. It's not healthcare to abort the life of an elderly person or a disabled person. I want your comments on this. Let's hear your comments. Press the like button if you want these posts to continue, and you must please subscribe. Press the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a penny, it doesn't cost you a cent, it doesn't even cost you a rupee. It's totally free, but it enables me to continue. So I'm finding out these news articles, they're kept from you. The media, what they call the legacy media, the national newspapers and the national television stations, especially the BBC at the moment, they're not telling you the real news. So I'll get you the real news and I'll bring it to you. All my news is provable. What I say is provable. So please subscribe to get the real truth. And it doesn't cost you a penny, doesn't cost you a cent, doesn't even cost you a rupee. It's totally free. Press the like button as well and make your comments known. And we will work together on this. And I'm sorry, this has really got me, that unborn children are being murdered, and the elderly are in line to be the next lot to be murdered. It shouldn't be happening. It should not be happening. So until the next time, bye for now.